Hola, ¿qué pasa, everybody? What's up, everybody out there? My name's Tyler. That's Jimmy over there. This is SnailMail.
SnailMail.
Oh, there we go. That was aggressive.
Should we shut the door?
Is it in the frame?
I don't know. I don't think it is.
You don't
but
think it is?
I don't want to get too distracted by employees walking by.
They would probably do stuff to distract us, so we can.
All right, shut
that there.
Perfect.
We'll see if that stays.
All
Our
right.
door has a mind of its own. I just wrapped my cords around each other. Hold on.
Sexy. Nice job.
Okay,
All right, we're back. Man, first week back is tough.
It is. we forgot how to do this pretty quick, apparently. All right, so we got snail mail today. When we left off snail mail, we did a bunch of episodes to get caught up. I think we had like 42 or 45 voicemails going into that string of recordings. 2 weeks off, we have 15.
Okay,
So
that's
not too bad.
Too bad.
That's under, I think, a normal cadence of working is able to keep up with 7 a week. So
yeah. So you guys are only allowed to call in 7 a week.
Yeah. So hold off a week. Don't call in this week or next week. Let us get fully caught up again, and then you guys can call back in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you want to bombard us with voicemails,
which is fine.
And
too.
then we'll be a month behind
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So this is all up to you.
Yeah. This is your guys' show. This is not our show anymore.
No.
So, all right. First up here.
Okay.
Alex, South Carolina, Alex.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. Here we go. I missed the wrong button.
Wah, wah.
Hey, Jimmy and Tyler. It's Alex from South Carolina. Just listened to the episode on the day after Christmas, and y'all were talking about the U2, and Jimmy asked how does it land?
Yeah.
So it has
the U2
a
bomber?
large like front wheel, like nose wheel kind of, but it's actually more under the cockpit or middle of the fuselage, because that aircraft is a giant jet and it has wings on it. It's a wild looking aircraft, but there's two wheels. It has a tail wheel and then that front wheel. They're in line with each other. But when you see it land, you can look at videos of it, and it lands on those wheels, but the wingtips can actually drag. They've got a coating on there, or the wingtips are just made of a different material that it wears down after time. I believe it wears down after time. It might have small rollers in there, but you can watch it land. It'll drag one side of the wing kind of, and then when it stops, that's when they go and put the supports in for taxiing and stuff like that. And then, like Tyler said, when it takes off, it just drops the supports. It's a weird looking aircraft, and it's so cool. But I love planes more than cars, so I might call back and bestow some random aircraft knowledge on y'all. That's what I'm getting my training to be an aircraft mechanic. So it's really fun for me. I go kind of down a lot of rabbit holes. But anyways, y'all take it easy and keep crawling. Merry Christmas too.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah.
I'm curious. Do you think Alex also knows all about the different depths of Mordor?
Probably. Maybe. Yeah. I did read a fun statistic over break that aircraft mechanics are one of the highest paying jobs that you can get without having a bachelor degree.
I believe it.
Yeah.
They're insanely well-paying jobs. I would venture to say that another really high-paying job that you can get, and it's not, I don't know if it's high-paying, it's just, or that the opportunity is there to earn a fuck ton of money in that field.
Yeah.
Is specialized welding.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like underwater welders.
Oh yeah,
bro. You write your own checks with that job.
Sure.
But anyways, yeah, dude, aircraft mechanics, they're getting to be in like very, very high demand right now. Like there's a lot of the older guys are retiring, getting out of it, and we're not getting, it's like the trades in general. We're not getting fresh meat into the trades.
Sure.
And aircraft mechanics are definitely one of those. So if you are handy, you want to make a lot of money and like working on airplanes, that's a great space to be.
That's what Tyson does, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I believe Tyson's an airplane mechanic.
Yep. And he has his own personal jet. So, I mean, obviously he's doing well.
So he can fly down and help train you, Alex.
Yeah, there you go.
That'll work. Yeah, I did know that in regards to the U2 bomb or the U2 spy plane, it's not a bomber,
spy plane,
right?
Yeah.
I did know that front wheel and rear wheel were in line down the cockpit area. But yeah, I guess the question really comes down to what's on the wingtips. Is it just like a special coating metals type of thing that's replaceable, or is there a wheel out there?
Yeah. Makes
me think that if there was a wheel out there, that they wouldn't care about putting the supports underneath it.
That's what my thought would be too. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious about it now. It's like the great mystery now.
Mm-hmm.
How does the U2 spy plane land?
Yeah.
And we know it takes off, the supports fall away. How does it land though?
I'm not sure. I do know that I think they go to not Mather. They go to the other airport across the way from us. Or is it the one out in Yuba City area? They fly over this area often.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever noticed one.
Oh yeah. I think it's either the one that's out there by Rancho Cordova or the one that's out by the Toyota Amphitheater, Wheatland Amphitheater.
What is that's Dixon area? There's a base in Dixon.
Yeah, that's Travis.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I forgot. I don't know what the names are off the top of my head, but there's an airport over there, military, and another one that way. And the U2 flies into that. One of those fairly often, because you'll see them. I'll see them coming down. And they go so slow, right? Because their wings are so long.
There's so much loft.
I'm like, that thing's either super high up there, or it's just going really slow.
Yeah,
and it's going really slow.
Do you know anything about the U2's takeoff protocol? Like once it takes off out of the airport, what it does?
No.
There's one of the, and I don't think it's the SR-71 because I don't think it could do this. I think it's the U2. When it takes off, it does a really steep corkscrew spiraling pattern upwards until it gets up to the outside of the atmosphere almost.
Yeah, the 30,000 feet or whatever.
It takes off towards its destination. Like every other plane comes into the airspace, comes in from a destination, and then immediately just kind of goes in. Whereas the U2, I'm pretty sure it's the U2, it has to spiral, do this corkscrew spiral up and out.
I don't know. Never heard of that. Interesting.
I think it was the U2. I could be mistaken. Alex, South Carolina Alex, call back. I'm curious which plane that is, if you know. So
there you go.
Next up.
Sounds good. Yep.
Our friend who gave us 2-person chonies.
Oh, Nick from Montana.
Here we go.
What's up, fellas? Nick in Montana. Just calling to say that I've officially started the final build phase of my little project truck, the first gen Tacoma that I've had since high school. We're going to Super Duties and sticky 42s with the turboed LS and trailing arms and all that kind of stuff. So, Jimmy, the race is officially on. We'll see which finishes first, Samanta or Nessy. Anyway, that's some of the things I haven't figured out is radios. Tyler, I'm a ham too. So I have, a couple of 110 watt Motorola's in my daily, for the search and rescue stuff. And I can probably get more, but they're a commercial band radio. They're at the, 150 megahertz. To 165. I don't remember off the top of my head. So I could do that, or I could do a GMRS, which is a little bit more standard for everything. Would also probably do something like a crossband repeat style icon, or what's the other one? The Yaesu 8900, which I don't think is in production anymore. So it's been a while since I've delved into ham stuff. Been pretty involved in the Yoda. Shout out to TE Designs and their roll cage. They've been super, super easy to work with. If you guys need a roll cage for anything, call them up, hit them up. They saved me so much time and money versus like bending a tube, fucking it up, and then go on to the next, and then like screw. Everything's cut, everything's coped, everything's bent, like it's perfect, or as close to perfect as it can be. And yeah, big fan. Anyway, fuck Texas. Love you, proud of you. Talk to you later.
That's funny.
That is funny.
Good stuff. Okay.
All right, so, race is on.
The race is on.
Sounds good.
And I will let you know, Nick, Jimmy always finishes first. So,
I don't ask how Tyler knows that.
It's because we have 2-person chonies. Anyways, let's see. So the race is on for Samantha. We have an update for Samantha on Monday's episode. Stay tuned.
Yep. In regards to these 2-person chonies,
okay,
that Nick from Montana sent us as a Christmas gift. That we opened on Thursday's episode. Which way are we supposed to wear those? I'll leave it. I'm going to send you the question.
Okay.
Are we ass to ass? Tip to tip?
Okay.
Tip to ass?
Prom pose. For sure, prom pose.
Prom pose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll let the listener decide who's where.
That's funny.
Oh, we getting a voicemail?
No, it was a regular spam call.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good question. We also had an interesting idea of making an octopus out of it.
Yeah.
Where we get 4 dudes together with 1 leg each in the chonies. And then we've got an octopus choni going on.
Yeah, we got 4 bodies.
8
legs.
8 legs,
yeah.
Yep.
So
anyways,
Nick, let us know if you want to be a part of that one.
I think we should get Nick and Sherpa in on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
that sounds like a fun time. All right. Do you want to talk about anything else that Nick said at radios?
Motorola's cannot do commercial band radios, typically cannot do dual band. They have very specialized transmitters in them so that they last forever. They're high quality radios. They're awesome radios, but your Motorola VHF radio will not be able to do UHF, which means no crossband repeat and no UHF repeaters, which are very common. So with that being said, and also no GMRS on that radio either. So the Motorola, they're great radios, but Motorola goes through large lengths to lock them down and make them very difficult to unlock. The software required to unlock them can only run on, I think, Windows XP and older computers.
Wow. Okay.
And it's part of the strategy of making them very difficult to access. So anyways, that's Motorola. GMRS radios getting more and more popular. They're always a good way to go with. Look at GME, stuff that GME is doing in the States right now. If you're looking into GMRS, I still think with Nick, you in particular, because you have a ham license, if you get a GMRS license and you still want to have commercial band, because you operate and have access to operate on commercial band, go with a high quality ham radio. They typically have wider band transmitters in them that can handle VHF and UHF wideband. So you can run the different frequencies that you have different licenses for. You just have to unlock the radio yourself, which as long as you have the licenses for it and you stick to the frequencies you should be sticking to, no one's going to bug you about doing that. It's when you unlock a radio and you start blasting emergency dispatch or commercial frequencies when you shouldn't be on those. That's when you have big problems. And the FCC does come down and hunt you down. So I'd go with a ham radio. The Yaesu 8900 is not in production anymore. I would say look at the 3100. It's a brand new radio I just learned about. It looks very promising, looks very similar to my favorite ICOM radio, the 2730. So the Yaesu 3100, I think is going to be a really good radio. I just need to look into it more. The ICOM 2730 is my favorite mobile radio right now. And yeah, there you go.
All right. Sounds good.
And fuck Texas. Next up.
Yeah.
Nick from Montana again.
All right.
He's talking to Wreck-It Ralph. So you and I can take a break.
Sweet.
Here we go.
See you later.
Hey, it's Nick again. Wreck-It Rob, where to go other than, I assume, California? Probably not Montana. It's cold as fuck here, bro. It's like 6 degrees in my garage right now. So that's great. Texas does suck. It sucks more than California, that's for sure. Might as well go to the Carolinas or Colorado. Colorado gets cold as shit too. So maybe Arizona or Utah. I'm not a fucking travel agent. Figure it out. And as far as glamping, I think anybody with a wife knows that they, must glamp with the wife. I learned that like on our second camping trip when she like brought out the scented candles and like started setting them up at our car camping site. Our wives improve our lives in ways that we perhaps never know or care about. But looking around my house full of campy shit, it's nice. It's better than the 17 shades of brown that I had, which I didn't even realize until she pointed out when she moved in. Anyway, love you, proud of you. Texas still sucks. More than California.
So Wreck-It Rob.
Yeah.
I think Nick from Montana is just trying to get you to stay away from Montana.
I think he's just trying to get anybody to stay away from Montana. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I forgot. I was talking to somebody over break, and I don't remember who it was. And we were talking about the migration out of California to other states.
Okay.
And the person was from Utah, if I remember. And they said everybody they talked to that has migrated from California to Utah has been from Southern California.
Yes. I mean, okay.
And so I have two theories on that.
Okay.
Theory number one, there's just vastly more people in Southern California. So it's just, if you took the average of people moving, the average would obviously be higher from the Southern California people because there's just more of them down there.
So move per capita?
Yeah.
Moving per capita?
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be an interesting statistic to figure out.
If 100 people are moving out of California, 90 of them happen to be from Southern California, 10 of them from Northern California.
Okay.
My other theory behind that is, well, Southern California sucks.
Yeah.
And Northern California is fantastic.
For the most part, yeah.
So nobody from Northern California is actually moving because it's great. And everybody is moving from the place that sucks.
I would mostly agree with that, I think. I think that when you hear people constantly trying to move out of California, you hear them moving away from dense population areas, which are Bay Area and LA. And so I think that's a lot of where the mass exodus is coming from. And it makes sense to me. I mean, you just get shoved full, so many people in such a dense area. There's only so much you can take.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Sure.
But I also think that I would love to see the statistics on per capita though.
That would be interesting.
Because I have a theory when it comes to the vehicles in the state of California and why California is so strict on vehicle smog law, and emission stuff, like small stroke engines, stuff like that, power generators, etc. I think that it's numbers to human beings are very difficult to grasp in scale. So when you start scaling up numbers, like when you start getting like 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, like, can your brain really, really, truly grasp the magnitude of difference between 100,000 and 1 million?
No,
I don't think the human brain can. And when you take that from 1 million to say,
it's just 100 times as many, right?
Yeah, right.
Or is it 10? Whatever it is.
10 times. So when you go from say 1 million to now 35, 38 million, can you really grasp that scale and change, that magnitude of change?
Not until I come over the grapevine.
Right. Exactly.
And I look out at LA, what I call Los Diego. And you just see the stretch of houses all the way to Mexico.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I think that a lot of people in other states, just when you hear of the quote unquote problems that everybody has issues with in California. I think that a lot of those problems are mainly due to the population epicenters of the Bay Area and SoCal.
Sure. Yeah.
The population of like the greater Los Angeles area is the same population as all of Australia.
Really?
It's very close. Yeah.
Wow.
So that gives you a perspective.
And Australia, the land mass of Australia is larger than the 48 states.
I don't know if that's true.
No, it is. It's like 28% larger.
Really?
Wow. Than the lower 48.
So when you think about California and the problems we quote unquote have here and the laws that we have here, realize that when you have that many people crammed into that little of space, there's just things you have to do in order for society to maintain itself.
Sure.
I mean, look at New York. New York is the other kind of epicenter where you hear a lot of people, especially right now, saying people are going to be leaving New York in droves due to its new mayor. Sorry. And so I think that there's just certain things that in order to live in a society, you need certain laws. And if you want to live in that area because it has amazing weather, amazing temperature, career opportunities, etc., you have to put up with the downside of that is that there's a lot of people that want to live in that area with you. They have the same mentality as you do. Therefore, you all have to get along. And that's where you get these kind of bubble wrapped society laws come out. So it's a give and a take for sure. I think that the more rural areas and pretty much every area except Bay Area and LA, Los Diego, I like that, are much easier to deal with and live in California than those two areas. So
I just looked it up real quick, and it's 27 to 28% larger.
Wow.
Yeah. Also what I want to say, and I mean, we're going off on a tangent that doesn't need to be said, but another point I wanted to make is that I think a lot of people want to move out of the city and want to get land. And they're just like, well, I could buy 5 acres in California for $1 million or whatever it comes around to be. Or I could buy 5 acres in Utah for $300,000.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sell my house in California for $2.4 million. And I'm going to spend half of it on land and then have to build a house, or spend, a quarter of it on land and then build a really nice house. So I think that, the financial side of things only makes sense on that question, but
for sure. And that comes down to temperate geography and supply and demand, right?
Sure.
Land in California, to put a house on and a property on, live on, is expensive because it's in high demand. Whereas land in Utah is not as expensive because there's some pretty crazy weather swings in Utah.
Yeah.
It gets cold as shit, as Nick would say. So, I mean, if you're willing to deal and you like cold as shit weather, and that's worth it to you, then yeah, do it.
The summers there are beautiful.
The summers are great, man.
The mini assistant, she's at the point now where she kind of understands money, but doesn't quite understand how much money, like $1 million is,
Yep.
And she said the other day, she's like, the people behind us are getting old. And I said, okay. She's like, when they die, we should buy that house and demolish it so that we can have more property and we can put a pool over there. Right. I'm like, so you want us to spend like $1 million
for a pool
to buy an acre of land?
Yeah.
To demolish the house on the land, to then build a pool on the land. She's like, yeah. I'm like, that is not the right way to do that. But I like your idea.
I like the way your daughter thinks, Jimmy, just FYI.
I don't argue with the logic. I argue with there's a better way to spend $1 million.
That's kind of a fair point. No, there's a house next to me.
I mean, I could build an elevated pool in my own property.
That's true.
With that, with a.
But then, can you ride go-karts around?
I could probably for $1 million.
You can figure out a way.
I could build the most elaborate pool ever, and not have to demolish a house over.
Yeah.
Though I will admit, because for those that have been following along with the podcast for a long time, know that I moved into my childhood home. I told my parents when I was probably the mini assistant's age that we should buy the acre behind our house because we don't want anybody to ever move there and build a house on that property, which foresight happened. And my parents said that acre floods every single winter. It will never pass inspection to be able to build a house on.
That's what landscaping comes in and big heavy machinery comes in.
And now there's a house back there.
Yeah.
And they had the opportunity. I mean, it's all hindsight and probably 30 years time difference in value, but they had the opportunity to buy it for $10,000.
What?
And they didn't do it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. But, hindsight's perfect vision, right?
Yeah, it is really. Yeah. There's my house and then to my left and then one more house down. So there's 3 houses there, right? There's one in the middle of us. Me and the end house have toys, vehicles, and extra vehicles. And so we were joking around one day. We're like,
we should buy
let's
this middle
get
house
together and buy Jeff's house, demolish it, and create a parking lot or a shop that we could
You need a shop.
have our play vehicles out and then have accesses to both properties from the shop. And I was like, I like the way you think, Dan.
Yeah.
We should totally do that. So now we're just waiting for Jeff to die off and
there you go.
Then we'll buy that property and do that with. So
I like the idea. The problem comes down to when you sell it.
You just
don't worry about it.
There's one other house in the neighborhood that has somehow along the way, it bought both of the properties that it's adjacent to.
Okay.
Demolished both houses and built a big house. On the 2 properties. So now they're connected together permanently.
Lot.
Yeah. It's a big lot. And I'm like, that's a really, I like it. I like the neighborhood I live in. I just wish I had a little bit more space and a less sloped driveway.
You need to buy the house behind you.
Oh, but it's on a cul-de-sac. So like I'd have to go around the corner to get into the cul-de-sac area, but I could turn that into a big parking area. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Talk to Dave about
Dan
about that.
Talk to Dan.
All right, moving on.
Anyways, that was a long tangent.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. Thanks,
Jesus
Nick.
Christ. All right. Next up is Jeff from Oregon.
All right.
Here we go.
Hey, this is Jeff from Oregon. Done with Axle Talk for now.
No.
We have some input later, but I wanted to talk to everyone about a PSA for the off-road community, something that I've been around in the community a long time. And basically, it's a warning of where to spend your money and where not to on vendors. I'm not going to call anybody out specifically besides one. But if it's billet and you pay for the product first and it ships later, don't buy it. It seems that this has been a common business practice, and I'd like to hear Tyler's input on business practices. But a lot of these guys come up with great ideas in the garage, and then they buy a CNC mill, or they have a company do the CNC milling for them to build transfer. I saw it a lot with doubler kits back in the day. There's a bunch of companies that made 231 and RBV, which is Ranger-based vehicle doubler kits for like the 1354 transfer case. And they would just you send them money and you wouldn't get your product, and they would kind of go under, or you'd get the product and break something, the spud shaft, and you couldn't get it replaced. There was a couple companies that were making billet Dana 300 kits. Stack was kind of the first one. They went under. And then Behemoth came along, the first iteration, and then he kind of went under and sold the rights to a venture capital firm, which actually has been doing pretty good things and shipping products and having it on the shelf. Because it costs money to have it on the shelf. That way the customer has it. When you're fronting the money for the company to make it, man, you're gambling a lot. And then they postpone deadlines and stuff of shipping your product. You're starting to see that. Midnight Metalworks is another Dana 300 company, and TMI is one now that's kind of seeing some recent troubles with shipping products on their Dana 300 stuff. The one that I'm really concerned with, the next market, I think, is portals. I think portals, you're going to see the same thing. I think the market's getting saturated with guys that are building them. They've got a CNC mill. They are doing it as side business from their regular job. I would not give somebody 20 grand and expect it to show up my door, or be it supported for the next 10 to 15 years. That's just me. All right, Land Rover stuck, running out of time. Bye.
Oh man, so many good topics to dive into on this one.
We could do almost an episode on
this. Could very well be a full episode.
You want Tyler to talk? You just ask him a question about business.
Oh my god, yeah.
And we can. He'll chat forever, even though his microphone cover matches his cup.
Yes, it does. Does it blend in?
Pretty close.
Pretty damn close.
Yeah. Let's say I think
my spray too.
I in all honesty, I think you pretty much answered your own question in your chat. It's like, and I fully get what you're saying. Don't buy a product that you're waiting for it to be built. Right. But you answered why it usually goes that route, because both Tyler and I own our own business, and both of us try to always have stock available for customers. But, we have thousands of dollars sitting on our shelves waiting to get sold, where the people that do it the other way, in theory, have that thousands of dollars in their bank account.
Yeah.
If they're doing it right.
I mean, not necessarily if they're doing it right. It really comes down to the more that a company invests in inventory, the more that they tend to really care about timeliness on the consumer and doing the right thing on the consumer, I think. Now also shit happens. Like, case in point, this year,
I'm sold out of 3 products right now.
Yeah.
Right. Like, sorry. Like, it just happened.
So you do your best to do projections, sales projections, what you think is going to sell, what you think is not going to sell, what you think is really going to sell, etc. And you spend your money on that inventory. Now, if you fuck that up, now you have $200,000 stuck in this inventory when the other thing is what ended up selling. Sure. Because one influencer made a couple of really good videos and all of a sudden sales exploded on that one product that you were like, I don't think that's going to do much this year. But all your money is tied up in the product you thought was going to do well. What do you do?
Yeah.
How do you handle that? So it really it's a tough situation. And we've talked about this and mentioned it a lot on the podcast, where there are some really fucking smart people in the off-road industry that make some amazing, really cool, really rad things.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
The problem with the off-road industry is that there's not very many people that are really good at business and doing business analytical projections in the off-road industry.
Sure. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get backlash probably for it. The off-road industry is cheap. Like, our shit costs a lot of money.
Yep.
And therefore people pinch pennies right and left. And there will go with the cheaper option, even if it's not the best option. And only because, to buy a product from one person, costs X, but to buy the product from the right company costs X times 2.
Yeah.
They're willing to pay for the cheaper product, even though they know it's not the better product.
Yep.
And that also hurts this industry, because now the person that is making a cheap product that knows it's going to break and fail is going to be making the sales, where the person that's doing the right thing and probably selling it at the correct price that could stay in business is now failing.
Yeah, it goes out of business because they're not getting the sales.
Yep.
And that's I don't want to say it's a supply and demand issue, but it's definitely it's a consumer mindset issue, I think. And there are ways to battle that through marketing and advertising.
Yes.
But also there's sometimes ways you just can't battle it. And you have to be able to, I love the term price elasticity.
Okay.
In businesses, and it's setting up a good, better, best option for consumers within your brand, so that you have the premium product, the thing that you have put your heart and soul into making. But there's still room there and that's going to be an expensive product.
Sure.
It doesn't necessarily exist. You've put your heart and soul into all the R&D. R&D is very expensive. And it's going to be a premium product. It's going to be a premium price point. And it should work out to consumers that way as well for people that can buy that and spend the money on that. But then there's also always going to be consumers that I just can't afford that. It doesn't matter how good of a product it is. They just won't be able to afford it. So you have to be able to set up product catalogs with lower price point items that are still good quality, but maybe fewer features.
Okay.
And I think where a lot of off-road companies fail and a lot of off-road products fail is that they make a feature-rich product in shitty quality.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to be flipped around in the off-road industry. And we need more companies that are focusing on flipping that around, of having good, high quality with fewer features, so that consumers are not having to worry about their shit falling apart or being like, I can't afford it now. I can't afford the nice thing now, but if I get the shitty thing, then maybe I can afford the nice thing in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
But then the shitty thing gives out in a year, and then they have to buy another shitty thing. They get stuck in the shitty thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that happens with the companies that Jeff talked about. I think that those companies are more along the lines of it's expensive to run a business. And I think a lot of off-road businesses that start, the person that starts them usually are starting it around a product. Everything he mentioned
100%.
was around transfer case, doublers, gears, billet items, right?
Yeah.
They're being built around a product. And the person that builds that product is amazing at engineering and understanding that product, at building that machining that product. But they don't know how to go from working in their business to working on their business. They don't know how to
go from working on a CNC machine to running a business.
Exactly.
Like I don't know the backstory on some of these companies, but I can almost tell you what happened in a way.
Yeah, right.
I can tell you that Joe Schmo had a fantastic idea on how to build a doubler case or a doubler, let's just say an adapter of some sort, right? And he has access to a CNC machine.
Yep.
And so he drew one up and he had it made and it works perfectly.
Yep.
So then he goes to sell it. He goes, well, that aluminum costs me $100. I'm just using stupid numbers here.
Yep.
Right. So I'll sell it for $150. And he goes, that will be awesome. And then everybody will buy it.
And when it's just you making it.
Yeah.
Perfect. That works fine.
That works great. And then you start buying more aluminum. Right. And you buy 10 aluminums for $100 and you sell the 10 for $150 each. And you just start making a little bit of money here and there. Well, then you go, I need a website.
Yep.
I need
a bigger shop space.
I need an employee. I need more CNC machines. I need to start paying time on the CNC machine that I've been borrowing.
Yep.
Like everything starts coming forward, right?
Your overhead starts overheading up.
You bought aluminum for $100. You're selling the aluminum for $150. You didn't put in your time that you're putting into there. You didn't factor in shipping. You didn't factor in marketing, R&D. They don't think about all the other aspects of a business. They just go, this is how much it cost me to buy this part. This is how much it cost me to
make it right now.
And they'll send it out.
Yep.
And they don't look at the full picture. They don't look at the entire business structure combined. Let me tell you, Jeff, how I know this.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not on my first business. The SnailTrail 4x4 isn't even my first business, right? I've been through a few businesses. This is probably my third or fourth, and Snail Armor is probably around my fifth, but Snail Armor is even my first product-based business, and I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I have friends like Tyler and other friends that have been doing this a little longer or are farther ahead than where I'm at. And I can ask questions about it. And I'm finding a lot out that I've already done wrong with Snail Armor. And I'm trying to adapt to continue to make that one work as well. So it's like, I get it. Like I know, but I really do think it's us. We know how to make a product. We know what could be a good product, but we really don't see the big picture of a business.
Yep. There's a lot more that goes into running a business, mainly costs and just what all needs to get done to scale a business.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you're just happy making a product, that's all you want to do, that's fine. Do it. Ship it out. You're going to be very limited as to how much you can make. And once your demand overreaches your supply, your customers are going to go elsewhere. And then as they start going elsewhere, somebody is going to outdo you. That's just competition. It's the nature of capitalism. Somebody is going to outdo you. Once that somebody outdoes you for long enough, they take all your business and all your customers. I don't want to say, look at Marlin. That didn't go that way for Marlin Crawler, but Marlin Crawler did not scale up when they had the opportunity to, when they were the king of crawling. Because they didn't want to scale up the business, it opened up room and created a vacuum for Trail Gear and All Pro and these other companies to appear. And Marlin it has a big brand name, huge, massive brand name. But in terms of the overall size of the business of Marlin, it's really not that big for what they could be doing if Marlin was as good of a business guy as he was an engineer.
Sure. Yeah.
Brilliant, absolutely amazing engineer, and did business pretty well. Unfortunately, it just didn't scale at the opportunity time that he had the opportunity to scale. And then they're happy with that. It's a family run business still, Big Mike runs it and they're perfectly fine with the size it is. And if that's all you want, awesome. Kudos to you. That's perfect. But there's always going to be somebody that is going to want to scale it bigger. And if you want to compete in the market, you have to be willing to do that. In order to do that, it takes a lot of money.
Yeah. And time.
But
I also want to go back to your original thing. You said this was a PSA, and I do think that this is a good PSA. I think that you need everybody in this market, everybody listening to this podcast should take into account the fact that where is it built? Because we definitely need to support the United States. We should take into account, is this company going to be able to survive the next 10 years? If you're buying a part like a transmission adapter or a T-case adapter, you're going to need to get replacement bearings. You're going to need to get, parts. So is that going to be around in 10 years or when you're going to need some upgrades or another part, whatever it ends up being? So Jeff, I do agree. I think that we need to pay attention to this and people should be thinking about it when they do their purchases and not just buying the cheap option or throwing their money down and not getting something right away. Yeah. I know that both Tyler and I try to have product in stock all the time. And that in my market with Snail Armor, that is something that sets me apart from my other competitors. Most of my other competitors are
kind of build to order thing.
Yeah. 2 to 3 week lead time. You buy a panel, it's 2 to 3 weeks to get it. It takes me 2 to 3 weeks to get my panels too. But I just do it up front and then I try to have it in stock and send it immediately out.
Yep.
And to some extent that has gotten me customers because they can get it within a matter of days from when I send it.
Yep.
Whereas they'd wait 2 to 3 weeks plus ship time to get the panel from another company.
Yep.
But I'm planning on trying to stay here for the long run for the most part. And I don't know if the other companies are.
Yeah. And that's a good point too. There's different ways to run business. And I think with the expansion of, is it GoFundMe? I think it is.
Yeah. Or Kickstarter or something.
Kickstarter. That's what I was thinking of. The expansion of Kickstarter, it's kind of become normalized for people to pay money up front. And that's where businesses get their funding from, right? Crowdsourced funding rather than...
You're going down another rabbit hole.
Yeah. And so, I mean, if you trust the business, more power to you. It's risky though. I think going on Kickstarter is a little safer than just
pre-sale,
quote unquote pre-sale stuff. But I think that a lot of industries are normalizing into pre-sale ways to do things, business structures. I'm not a fan of it. And I try my best to not let that happen, but shit happens. Like this year I had already submitted the purchase orders for compressors and air hubs.
Yeah.
In middle of April.
Okay.
And it takes about 6 months, 4 to 6 months to produce an entire production run, get it all packaged, ready, get it shipped, and then go through QC and then get it out to a customer.
Okay. So
4 to 6 months.
Right. So you did it in April. So maybe the latest would be October.
I was looking at September. I was hoping for September. Latest would be October to get that in. And I did that when I placed the order in April. I was like, cool, we have 6 months of inventory left. Let's place this so that in 4 to 6 months, we get the order in. We have a roughly on average about 1 month overlap where we should have, it should be plenty, right?
You have a ton of supply for a month.
Yeah. I did not take into account Memorial Day sales or Prime Day sales.
Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't even think about participating in Prime Day in 2025 until like a couple weeks before Prime Day, which was middle of July.
Okay.
So I placed the production order in April.
Yeah.
And then we sold 6 months worth of inventory in a month.
Oops.
A month and a half, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So from the Memorial Day and Prime Day, those 2 sales alone, we sold 6 months worth of inventory.
Dang.
And you can't speed up production at all. So from the middle of July through pretty much October, end of September, early October, which is July, August, September, 3 to 4 months, we were back ordered on compressors and air hubs pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that. You fuck up your projections and it can be disastrous.
Yeah.
And it's not like you intend to. It's not like we're going out of business. It's not like we're hurting on money. It was just a bad timing on the production and sales projections.
Sure. And I think that makes a lot of sense, especially because you have quite a long lead time.
Yeah.
But I think, and Jeff is kind of talking about,
for sure,
a machine shop that's building them in house that is semi-local or around, but I do think that, Jeff makes a good point that you should really pay attention to what you're buying and where you're buying it from.
Know the companies. I think that's the big thing is know the companies, know what companies are supporting the industry. I'm always a big proponent of that. Know kind of the business structure. Are they building to order? Are they running the business off of the upfront cash flow of those products? That's really bad. If they're just doing build to order, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it really helps inventory control and loss of money due to dead inventory. That's a different scenario than running the business off of upfront cash flow from products. That's a different story. And it's sometimes hard to tell which businesses are doing that or not. And so just be conscious of it, where you're spending your money in the industry. Spend it on the companies that matter and care, I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get it.
All right. We're at 50 minutes almost.
Yeah.
Some good topics today, guys.
Those were good topics for sure. I think that, if you want to talk, we need to start a business podcast,
right?
An off-road business podcast.
We have a lot of connections in the off-road industry. I think it'd be fun to get different businesses on and talk about their business in the off-road. We talk about businesses, but really we're talking about like their startup stories and their product stories and the features of their products. We're not really talking about the back end. Like, what are the trials and tribulations you had to go through to get where you're at today? And how'd you overcome those as a business?
I think that there are podcasts out there that do that, but none of them in the automotive industry none of them in the off-road automotive industry. Yeah. But I do know that Acquired podcast that I've listened to has a whole episode on Porsche.
Oh, okay.
And so I haven't listened to that one yet, but I think that would be an interesting one to see like how they started, where they started, and what they go through. But I don't know. I think that I think if that's something you guys want to know, reach out. Phone us, 916-345-4744. Before this episode, I did tell Tyler, why don't every single week we try to get through all the voicemails, so we're only 1 week behind, and we only made it through 4 voicemails today out of the 15 that we have. So that's not going to happen. I don't think we both decided that wasn't going to happen. So this all comes down to you guys. If you want to have voicemails be really far late, months out, then leave us a bunch of voicemails. If you don't, then, call in with only important information or something you want to hear from somebody else or something, Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily to do a couple Monday episodes as voicemails.
Yeah.
To get caught up and just catch up with voicemails and check in. I think people really enjoy the segment. You and I really enjoy the segment. So we can't add more voicemail segments, but we can substitute Monday calls. I think Monday episodes with voicemail segments too.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. Do whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yep. Exactly. So yeah, big thanks to, Alex, Nick, I think Nick again, right?
Yep.
Did Nick call in twice?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Nick and Jeff, the 4 callers we had today.
Yeah. Cool. If you guys want to call in, you guys know how to do it. Anything else, Jimmy?
Nope. That's all.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday.
Bye-bye.
The number you have called has been disconnected.